Hi guys, it's Simon from SA Tuning. What I thought I'd do for you guys today is just explain to you what our stages of tune are and what they mean. There are an awful lot of companies out there offering stage 1, 2, 2+, 3, 3+, etc, etc, and it can get quite confusing from company to company. So what I thought we'd do is I'll just let you know what we do and how we classify our stages of tune. So first off, you've got stage 1. Now stage 1 is the most you are going to physically get from your vehicle with all of its stock components within safe limits. So for example, if you've got a diesel and you've got a DPF in, that stays in. All your stock air filters, stock intercoolers, stock everything stays where it should be. And what we also do is we sort of look at the power and we look at the exhaust gas temperatures, intake air temperatures, so on and so forth to ascertain where the safe level is for stage 1. So that would be that would be the best for stock vehicles. We class that as like a fast road performance option, and what that does is that enables you to have a faster car but with no modifications, so everything's still the same as it is. Now that means that we will get the most when we quote for a stage 1. That is, we will quote what you're likely to achieve without any modifications at all. Stage 2 for us means actual hardware modifications. So for example, if you've got a petrol, stage 2 will invariably mean full decat exhaust, potentially cold feed induction kit. Depending on how hard you want to go, you could be looking at a front mount intercooler as well. If you've got a diesel, stage 2 would definitely require a DPF removal and delete and an EGR removal as a delete as a minimum. Most BMW stuff you're going to probably look at a front mount intercooler as well, because the air intake temperatures on those stock, they run at sort of 80-85 degrees C anyway, and we want to keep those lower. So being able to push to stage 2 with those, with sort of the exhaust mods and the intake mod, reduces the exhaust gas temperatures down to a safe level, as there's no friction because there's nothing in the exhaust now. What we can do is we can then push the car hard without any restriction in the exhaust system. Therefore the exhaust gas temperatures stay lower, therefore we can spool things up like the turbo a little bit harder, we can chuck some more fuel through, and then we're not hurting anything else. So that's stage 2, which are sort of light modifications, we'd call those. So stage 1 is completely stock. Stage 2, you're looking at an exhaust mod and an intake mod at least. Stage 3 for us, then we start looking at sort of turbocharged vehicles. You know, we're looking at changing the turbo as well as all the stage 2 modifications. You're looking at actually physically changing the main thing that will give you the most horsepower, which will be the turbo. We'll look at hybrid turbos for those. We'll look at even completely changing the turbo. And then you start looking at even bigger gains, but then we have to start looking at, well, what can the engine block take, how much can we push it, where are the con rods going to start going, and we still need to keep everything relatively safe. Stage 4 for us would be a fully forged engine. That's petrol or diesel. So with all the other mods, fully forged engine, then we can pretty much get away with whatever we kind of want, really, to a certain degree. So you've got stage 1, completely stock car. We will get you the most we physically can out of it. Stage 2 would be an exhaust and an intake mod. On diesels, for example, you'd be looking at sort of the intercooler as the intake mod. On petrols, you'll be looking at a cold feed induction kit. For diesels, for stage 2, you're looking at least DPF and EGR removal and delete. On petrols, you'll be looking at a decat exhaust. Stage 3, for turbocharged vehicles, you'll be looking at a new turbo as well as the stage 2 figures. Supercharged vehicles, you can look at reducer pulleys and things like that for stage 3s. You know, say for example a lot of Mercs, we can get those down like 17-18% reducer pulleys, things like that. And for naturally aspirated stuff, stage 3 starts to get a little bit weird because there's no sort of direct forced injection of the air, so i.e. a turbocharger or a supercharger. You start looking at manifold mods, you start looking at, as well as the decats and things like that, you start looking at high performance cams to go in there to get some more horsepower as well. So stage 1, completely stock. Stage 2, exhaust and intake. Stage 3, you're looking at turbocharger or supercharger mods, as well as stage 2 options. So that's turbocharger, supercharger mods. And then stage 4, you're looking at a fully forged engine with wildly different turbos, huge turbos, you know, massive, or even sort of putting, you know, superchargers on naturally aspirated stuff. That can be sort of classed as stage 4. So if you were to ring up and ask for a quote, stage 1, what we will give you is the physical most you can get out of your vehicle, completely stock. If you're asking for stage 2, then we can give you a quote for those. You know, we're suppliers for Miltech Scorpion, so we can do downpipes and full exhaust systems. We're full suppliers and authorised distributors for Ram Air, so for example, all your intake features and things like that. Intercoolers, so for example, Wagner intercoolers for all the BMW stuff and some Volkswagen Audi stuff they're pretty good for. You know, we can supply and fit those as well. So whatever you want, we can sort you out. So that was our stages. Stage 1, stock. Stage 2, exhaust and intake modifications. Stage 3, you're actually looking at changing the big hardware, turbos, superchargers, you know, race cams, things like that. And then stage 4, you're looking at anything you want with fully forged engine. All right, so I hope that helps clear it up. And so next time you're sort of thinking about having a remap and, you know, what stage you wanted, give us a call, let us know, 0333 444 0136, info@satuning.co.uk, or you can message us here on Facebook, and we're more than happy to give you a quote and try and help you as much as we can. All right, guys, that's lovely. Thanks.